In 2007, one simple idea changed the way Africa moves money. M-Pesa, launched by Safaricom and Vodafone in Kenya, turned mobile phones into banks for millions of unbanked Africans.
I'm Nick Hughes. I joined Vodafone in 2001, where I started and led the team that developed and launched M-Pesa. M-Pesa is a mobile money service. M for mobile, Pesa Swahili for money or cash. And what we provide is a very simple service which allows a customer who's typically unbanked to load money, cash, into a digital wallet and then use their phone to move that money to other participants electronically. What we managed to do with M-Pesa was very quickly show that safely and securely you could move money between A and B at a fair price. And that solved a massive problem. And we started with a very simple proposition: send money home. And in Kenya and many African cities, you get a lot of people that come into the cities to work and want to send money home. Traditionally, they'd have done it by sending cash on a matatu bus or taking time out of work and moving cash around. Suddenly, they had a way to move money, send money home using electronic format, and it was safe, secure, and there was a fair price for moving that money electronically back to families who were not in the urban areas. And really, that simple proposition, send money home, was the start. And then over time, we started introducing more payment services. So you could send money to a utility provider, you could pay for your bills, you could buy things at a merchant location. And so suddenly it grew from simple P2P into what we know today, which is a full m-commerce service. M-Pesa's been a standout success in Kenya. And it's held up still even today, 15 years later, all over the world, as a great example of how to deploy and grow digital financial services. So it's, if we look forward, it's exciting. There's still a lot of work to do, but we've learned a lot in Kenya, and I think that the opportunities across Africa are enormous. And it's a very exciting future when you start to look at different applications that run off a smartphone digital financial service.
M-Pesa powers payments, savings, and credits for over 50 million active users across 7 African countries. In Kenya alone, 59% of GDP flows through its platform, making it the beating heart of Africa's digital economy.
At first, in 2015, when M-Pesa came home, it was we thought that was the 616 TPS was really one that we could not achieve. Rather, it was very high. But today, as I told you, we are now at 4,000 transactions per second. Then what that meant is we had to continuously upgrade our environment. And the biggest bottleneck that we saw then was a database. And the reason for that is because all the transactions are written into the database. The technologies that we had then are not the same ones that we have today. And therefore, leveraging on the enhancement, the evolution of technology to what we have today, then we will be upgrading it even further. From now, a case of just replacing a database, you're moving from a 16-core database from 2000 technology to a database that is a 32-core to a 64-core database. Now switching this into one that we can actually seamlessly upgrade M-Pesa without necessarily having to disconnect everybody from the service. We just set up one environment and then we scale it horizontally and seamlessly without necessarily bringing down all the services. If you recall, we had in 2015, 16, 17, before 2020, we used to have a lot of notifications that we are going to upgrade M-Pesa. Be down for the next 2 hours from midnight, from midnight. And mostly it's from 1 a.m. because that's when we realize most of our customers. But today, actually, at 1 a.m. we still have about 300 customers transacting per second, mostly over the weekend. And so then we would bring down systems to be able to upgrade. In the recent past, I'm sure you've seen them, but they're not that frequent. And it is because of the evolution that we've been able to undertake. Every other week, every other month, we have almost 2 upgrades of the core M-Pesa system and the systems in that ecosystem. M-Pesa we have an M-Pesa core system, that's the wallet, but also the same core system exposes a lot of APIs generally that interconnects with many other systems, and that's where our partners come in through the payment gateway, or the payment gateway that interconnects to them. And whenever we interconnect them, we have almost 45,000 integrations into that ecosystem. Of course, we also have the gateway, which has about 100,000 developers, and how we support that is through the APIs that are robust. All these systems interconnect to the core in a manner that is very secure, and that's how we are able to power that every single request that comes into the system. M-Pesa, as mentioned, we have more than 10 systems within the ecosystem, financial services ecosystem. Remember, we recently launched CD, a new product, that's a wealth management product. We've had a lot of evolution around the lending side of things, where we had Fuliza. That didn't come in 2015. We've always evolved that from a technology perspective by bringing on board more systems and enhancing the capability of the core system through innovation. Now we have what we have today. Today we have a multi-tenant lending platform that powers Fuliza and many other lending propositions, term loans that are there. We've just set up a multi-tenant wealth management platform. Multi-tenant in this case means you can have as many partners as possible coming on board as much as we agree with them commercially, and then we host the platform for them, and then we run the technology for them, and then we agree commercially on the other side. As part of my role, of course, is to ensure that strategically we meet the business goals from a technology perspective, and therefore going for multi-tenant kind of architecture is what we've been doing from a lending perspective, wealth, and now going into the insurance space with the same kind of mindset to power the evolution.
By connecting people to affordable, secure financial services, M-Pesa didn't just enable transactions, it enabled transformation. M-Pesa, the mobile money engine driving financial inclusion across Africa.